Now we're going to talk about QC, which stands for quality control. So on randomly selected dates, we're going to do what's called quality control. And that's described in Appendix A of your manual. And you'll see there's a chart there that will alert you to which sample events you're going to be doing quality control. But another way to know is when you walk in to find your samples, you'll notice something different. First of all, you'll notice that your data sheet will look a little weird. Here's a normal data sheet, and here's your quality control data sheet. So it'll have blocked out areas. And then you'll also notice that you have some extra bottles. So the location for this on Big Spirit 54 is going to be our quality control site. So you'll have two sets of bottles for number 54, and they will be labeled 54 and 54 split. So here we have our bottles for each sample location, but here for site 54, we have a 54 and 54 split for chlorophyll, and for our nutrients, 54, 54 split, and our microcystin, 54 and 54 split. So at your site 54, all you have to do is split your sample, which when you fill your water sample jug with water, you will simply be splitting the sample between the two bottles. So this is for pretend, but we're in the boat, and you'll just be collecting your water sample. You know, you rinse this 3 times, and then you fill the jug up by submerging this underwater to your elbow. And then when it's time to pour your samples, you just go a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there, and split your samples. And you can have your partner like maybe holding the bottles for you. And then the same thing with your nutrient sample, and the same thing with your microcystin. So that's pretty easy, isn't it? Then you will also be doing what's called a blank. So your blank samples, you'll notice that you'll also have an extra set of bottles that say blank. And the blanks you do back at home with your jug of deionized water. So with your jug of deionized water, the purpose of the blank test is actually to be sure that the water sample jug is being properly rinsed and not cross-contaminating samples. So you take your jug of deionized water, pour a little bit in your water sample jug, pour it out. You should do this by a sink or outside. Pour a little bit in, rinse it out 3 times, then fill your water sample jug up with water, enough water to fill your blank samples all the way up. Then you take this jug of deionized water and fill your blank samples. You don't need to split them, you can just fill them right up. So that's pretty simple. There's one other thing that might confuse you, is on your data sheet you have an extra row here. You don't need to take field measurements for the 54 split because it's the same location as 54, so that's why it's blanked out. And because you're back at home, you don't need to fill out field measurements for your blank sample, so that's blacked out. So that's all there is to it. If you have any questions, call me or read your manual.